Hello, so it's Friday, which is probably, oh, for fuck's sake, I really need to invest in just things that could maybe make me look a bit more professional, like a professional YouTuber. I think I'd have to clone myself. Oh no, I'd have to clone Dr. Beast. Oh, for fuck's sake, not again. Yeah, is it Dr. Beast or is it Mr. Beast? I'm so sorry about this. There we go, done. Oh my gosh, she sorted it. Oh my gosh, look at how I'm blending in with the wall in my all black outfit. If I didn't have my arms and my head, I would blend in with the walls. Anyway, okay, so guys, I really have to get rid of all of this makeup because it's just, oh, for fuck's sake, right? This is really taking the piss right now. Okay, it's gonna fall again. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so this is my box of, oh, well, it's not all of the makeup, but it's definitely a large proportion of the makeup that I am just getting rid of. I know that you're probably wondering, well, what are you going to do with it? I am going to check the expiry dates and then I will give it to my stepdaughter. I'll give it to my stepson's girlfriend. I'm just going to be giving it away to the people who don't really have a lot of money but would really, I think, appreciate some makeup. So basically, right, I just thought I would show you because I've been kind of holding on to this for so long, and obviously, like, I've been doing the makeover and I've been like moving this box from, oh, ouch, oh yeah, I've just been kind of moving this around as I've been like redecorating, and I've just got to the point now where it's like, Amanita, you've got to let it go. You have to let it go. So I just thought I'd show you some of the things. So we have the Kaleidos makeup. This is the, I don't know what's the name. Oh, the Escape Pod palette. So this is actually really, really beautiful. I don't really want to be doing this because now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, or should I keep her? Do I really want to get rid of her? I'm trying to justify it to myself, but I never really used this a lot, honestly. Is she a beautiful palette? Yes. Is she very cohesive? No. Do I tend to reach for these shadows ever? No. But she's really, really good, like brilliant quality, but just, I never use her. Oh, do you know what, guys? I feel like, how can I even... I'm at the point where I'm thinking, this is going to take forever because, like, we've got setting sprays, lipsticks, blush palettes, highlighters, lip pencils, eyeliners. There's so much in here. I don't think I can even show you all, but you would probably, like, recognise a lot of things if I were going to show you, but I'm not because there's just so much. And anyway, this is it. I still have, like, my makeup drawer, and the makeup drawer holds all of my makeup apart from the everyday stuff that I just keep in my makeup bag, but everything else, all of it fits very comfortably now into my makeup drawer, which is not really a big drawer. And this is literally the makeup that I know I'm going to use, I know I love. I would probably repurchase when I kind of used it up. So it feels really, really good actually to just, get rid of that big feck off box of makeup. I look at it and I just think I was holding on for, that kind of day where in my mind I was thinking, I will definitely use this someday, like with a super bright colourful palette or the Kaleidos makeup palette. Like, you look at it and you think, oh my gosh, this is really beautiful. Like, one day I'm definitely going to be dying to create a neon green, fuchsia pink, multi-chromatic, like glittery eye. Like, you, in your mind, you like convince yourself that day will come and you're going to feel so grateful that you kept that palette. But then you have to question, well, do you really want to like hold on to something just for maybe like one day a year when you might reach for it? Or would it be a better plan to maybe donate it to someone that he's going to get a lot more use out of it and he's going to get real happiness for many, many days with that palette? I just think it's the right thing to do. And also it feels good just to be getting rid of all of that makeup. Like, I at one point had about 20 mascaras and really I only used Lash Princess, but then I had all of these extra mascaras, and I know that I reviewed makeup, so that was always my excuse for like keeping hold. Well, I don't know why I kept hold of things. Like, reviewing makeup, yes, is the excuse for having lots of makeup, but what's the excuse for holding on to all of that makeup? Hoarding. fear of letting go, the fear that one day you're going to really want to use that product, so you just want to keep it just in case. Do you know what? I am not a minimalist, but I do definitely think that the things you own end up owning you, because you have to like store them, you have to look at them, then you feel guilty because you think, oh my gosh, I spent money on this and I've never used it. I mean, I've got so many of those products in that fucking box. The amount of money that I've spent on makeup over the years has been a lot, but it's been worth it because, you know, I've created all these videos and I've really enjoyed, like, even the products that I thought were shit, I've still had so much fun, like creating a video or doing a review, or, you know, I've still got some great value from them. I feel cleansed, and it feels really, really good just to not have this excess amount of makeup anymore. I mean, I'm even kind of looking here in the makeup drawer of the products that I have kept. Editing and when, make sure you insert footage here so that everybody can see what I'm talking about. I've got my like setting powders over at this side. We have some face product. This is a bit of like a miscellaneous box. We've got highlighter, we've got cream eyeshadow, we've got blush, we've got highlighter, we've got concealer, which by the way I don't really ever use, but we've even got mascara in there. In the next box we've got like loads of like little jars of glitter, which I don't think I'm ever going to use, but oh my god, I was just about to say, but I'm keeping them because one day maybe the boys would like to use them, like for Halloween or something. But do I really want the boys to be playing around with loose glitter? Because that always ends up being a bit of a disaster. Probably not. So do you know what? They'll probably go as well. And to be honest, this box here where I've got these glitters, I think there's probably going to be maybe 4 items that I will keep from this. The next 2 boxes are lipsticks. I think I'm probably going to use all of those so they can stay. And then we've got I think actually, do you know what? I think I've only kept like 3 palettes. Oh my gosh, this is just like a never-ending cave of palettes. So I'm now the proud owner of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eyeshadow palettes. So these are my absolute favourite eyeshadow palettes. And if you think of all of the palettes that I've ever tried, these are the only ones that I've chosen to actually hold on to. So if that doesn't say a lot, I just don't know what does. So we've got the Venus palette by Lime Crime, and this is a beautiful cool tone palette. Do I use her a lot? No, but there's no way I could get rid of her because she is like my idea of a perfect cool tone palette. Next we have the Club Nebula palette from Kaleidos Makeup. So the reason why I kept hold of this palette was just because I love all of the shades in the palette. I think that some of the shades are unique. So like, I love this deep aubergine. I love the navy blue. I love the teal. This shade here is like a very warm toned grey charcoal. I love. And also the metallics are really, really good. So yeah, this one definitely, she cannot go anywhere. Okay, so my favourite metallic formula ever was the Pat McGrath Ecstasy palette. So these metallics are just so buttery smooth, like everything that a metallic should be. I feel like if you've got these on your lids, the aliens up in space, they can see you because your lids are just like glowing. Whenever I use this palette, I feel like Jennifer Lopez. I just feel so bronzed, so glowy. She's the perfect summer palette and she's the perfect autumnal palette. And also what I really love about her is you don't have to use brushes. You can just go in with your finger. So easy to use, but it gives you such a beautiful, luxurious kind of indulgent look. And it kind of looks like you took a long time creating the look, but you totally didn't. Do you know what? I think this could potentially be one of my favourite palettes of all time. It's definitely my top 7. We have another cool tone palette. This one is by Pretty Vulgar and it's the Nightingale palette. So I've always thought that there's been a complete scarcity of really good cool tone palettes on the market. With these 2 palettes, so the Lime Crime one and Pretty Vulgar, because like they're cool tone just done so perfectly, there's no way I could get rid of these. But as you can see, like they do look a bit similar, but kind of not really. Like the Pretty Vulgar one has a little bit more of like bronzy vibes as well as the navy and grey, whereas the Lime Crime one, it's a lot more like intensely gothic. I would say if you want to be like super gothic, go for Lime Crime. If you want to be like cool toned but in a New England kind of way, I'd go for Pretty Vulgar. I can hear one of my cats meowing. And Elon, is that you meowing? Why is this the universal, like, come here, like, sound for cats? Is that what you do when you're calling your cats over? Or actually, with my Siamese cats growing up, we would go. Do you know it worked? Because look who's here. Elon's here. Oh, we've also got Salem. See, it works, but why does it work? Like, and what are we actually saying? Like in cat language, what's the translation? Is it like, come here now? Or is it like, your presence has been requested in the drawing room? Anyway, okay, so we're down to the final 3 palettes, and the first one, like, of the 3, this is, I don't know, like, when I tried this, I was so not impressed. And also, like, the pictures of this online, it just looked like the most dull palette ever. If Mark Zuckerberg, like, created an eyeshadow palette, I feel like this would be what he would create. So it's the Naked Cyber palette. I think definitely, like, visually, this front cover is so much more interesting than the actual palette. Like, this is the palette. It's just kind of dull and boring to look at, but the reason why I kept it is that I really love the formula. There's 2 shades in particular, these 2 mattes, the pink and the peach, that I just think are gorgeous, like everyday, like transition shades. And I also do like the metallics, and the formula is just so good. Like, I really do like Urban Decay's formulas. So, and also my sister got me that for my birthday. And I felt a bit bad, like, giving it up. And I do like it, but that's probably going to be my least used palette out of the bunch. Oh, actually, no, this is probably going to be my least used palette out of the bunch. So this is Pat McGrath. It's the Celestial Divinity palette. Like, what the fuck? Is she trying to start her own religion or something? Like, what? Anyway, this is the most pretentious of all the palettes. Does she look beautiful? Yes. Is the formula good? Yes, of the metallics, but not really of the mattes. Like, I find the mattes incredibly difficult to work with. The reason why I'm keeping her is I spent about £60 on her. So there's no way I'm giving her up. Even if I were to die tomorrow, I would hang on to her with my cold, dead fingers. And I would not let her go because I spent £60 on her. Even the metallics in this palette are nowhere near as good as the metallic formula in the Little Ecstasy palette. And by the way, so, you know, this Ecstasy palette that I mentioned earlier, this one. So I've not checked in a while, but Pat McGrath frequently does these kind of flash sales, and they're really worth checking out because I think this palette cost me about £13, which is an absolute bargain. But I'm sure that recently they were selling this in a flash sale for like £8. Oh my gosh, I would feel like I was robbing Pat McGrath. I mean, she robs everyone every day anyway with her extravagant prices, but I would feel like I don't know, I feel like, oh my gosh, they've made a mistake and I am benefiting. Awesome. Okay, so my final palette. Oh no, I do. I've got another one. Oh my gosh, so sorry guys. Every time I think I've shown you all my palettes, there's more, but I promise 2 more. So these are my absolute 2 favourites. Like, if I could only keep 2 palettes, and in all honesty, I could easily just keep these 2 palettes and be quite happy. These are my most used palettes. So the first one is the Born to Run palette by Urban Decay. As I mentioned, I love Urban Decay formulas, and this palette perfect. You've got everything in there. Everything. I love the pigmentation, formula, how easy it is to use. Oh, I just love the colour combinations, just everything. She's perfection. She is tied with my favourite, with the Rose Glam. No, she's not Rose Glam. Why did I say Rose Glam? I don't know. So the Born to Run palette is tied in first place with the Soft Glam palette by ABH. Say if there was a fire and the sexy hot fireman said, Amwin, you've got time, you can go in, but you can only save 1 palette. Obviously at this point, the kids are out, Honeys is out, the cats are out, my dildo's out, it's like everything important is out. But if the sexy hot fireman said, Amanita, just 1 more palette, like just grab 1 palette, I would grab this one. So I could probably just keep this and feck the others off. But even when I was explaining like about palettes, were you thinking, when you're just justifying this to yourself and you're probably going to use them once a year, but you're clinging on to them because you just don't want to give them up? I know, I'm self-reflecting, and that's exactly what I think. Guys, just let me have some palettes. Like, I've done really well. I got rid of about 50. So this is the Soft Glam palette. I'm sure you've seen her before. She's just perfect. Like, I did actually used to be more of a cool tone girl, but I kind of had this realisation that actually warm tones I think suit me more. They bring out the green in my hazel eyes, and I think they really look nice with the blonde hair, where I don't know, I always thought I was cool tone, but I think that was just because inside I'm a goth. And I thought, yeah, cool tone, like I love how it looks on other people, but maybe I wasn't really thinking so much, well, does it actually look good on me? I don't know. Now I'm questioning, do I need those two cool tone palettes? But I'm saying yes, I do, so it's fine. Don't worry, I'm not going to think about that anymore. Oh my gosh, I love this palette. She's beautiful if you're a fan of warm tones. If you, oh, she's just great. Quality great. Yes, perfect. So these two are my two favourite palettes ever. Like after all of the reviews I've done over the years, you know, to have come to this conclusion that these two are my favourite palettes ever, I think that's very good. It's very good. I don't know what else to say, but very good. Okay, so guys, I'm going to go, but I just wanted to show you this makeup and show you kind of like what have I got left. If you do have any other questions or you want to see anything in more detail, or maybe you'd like to see me do a similar video on like which highlighters have I held on to, which blushes have I held on to, which foundations have I held on to, then I will definitely do that, because I'm thinking that's actually really good. I might do that. It's a good idea. I'm going to. But anyway, I am going to go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.